show starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Coin Launch Lounge. If it's your first time coming in, thanks for stopping by. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Today we've got Shibadoge in the house, and Leo, one of the core developers of Shibadoge, is in here to do the introduction. Leo, if you could do me a favor, start off by introducing yourself, give us a brief overview on the project, and we'll take it from there.
Nice, man. Thanks for having us, Brian. Yep. My name is Leo, guys. I'm one of the main team members here on Shibadoge. Just to give you guys a quick breakdown of what we do, we've launched about a year and 3 months ago, almost 15 months ago now. We've grown to a total of almost 30,000 holders on chain, plus who knows how many tens of thousands off chain on the centralized exchanges. Our project is all about unity. It's all about bridging the gap between some of the major, some of the bigger projects in the space, like Doge and Shiba, hence the name Shibadoge. Myself and the rest of the team members, core team members, are all whales in both Dogecoin and Shiba. One of our team members actually being a top 50 wallet of Dogecoin as well. So we know the ropes around the meme coins, and we decided to bring our expertise to our own project. And fast forward 15 months, and we've built a pretty decently sized ecosystem and an amazing community of people that we've grown to love.
Incredible. So backing up to kind of the beginning, right, and how you guys got to where you are now, you've obviously had to overcome a lot, and a lot has changed in the project as far as development goes, and you've launched NFT collections, and the burn token came out. I don't even know what the war zone is. So if you could kind of give the people that don't understand the context of, the progression of your timeline here.
Yeah, for sure, man. So Shibadoge was the first part of our ecosystem that was launched, the Shibadoge token. It was launched back in December of last year. We very quickly, in the first month, achieved a $250 million market cap, and then found a nice stabilization after that run up. After the Shibadoge launch came the first iteration of the NFTs, which was the Doge Army NFTs, to kind of get things kicked off and started. After the Doge Army NFT is when we introduced the War Zone and the Shiba Army NFTs. So the War Zone is actually pretty interesting because the War Zone is where you can deploy your NFTs, and your NFTs go on different missions and whatnot. It won't let you access it until you actually connect your wallet, but you'll deploy your NFTs into the War Zone, and the War Zones are seasonal, right? So we're about to start season 3, and what your NFTs do in the War Zone is they accomplish tasks, and it's kind of like a gamification for the NFT itself. And in return, depending on the ranking of the NFT that you have in there, you gain rewards on a daily basis. So one of our bigger whales, or one of our bigger NFT whales, had made about $12,000 some odd dollars just in last season's War Zone alone. So the rewards are pretty significant, and the rewards are tied into the Shibadoge token and the burn token. So as long as those tokens are doing well, the rewards there will be doing well. The better the prices on Shibadoge and burn token get, the better the price was on the War Zone get as well. So.
All right, cool. And so Doge Army was out when I knew of it, and then Shiba Army came out when the War Zone came out. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, and correct. So Shiba Army didn't come out till after the first season of War Zone was complete, and now we actually have a breeder, which is what we like to call it, and you actually be able to breed your Doge Army and Shiba Army NFTs to create a third iteration. That one can't be deployed into the War Zone, but we'll get into why that next iteration is very important, very special moving forward.
You mean moving forward after this, or moving forward throughout the AMA?
No, throughout the AMA. Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Oh, cool.
For sure.
I'm curious to know, man. I want to know. So you can breed them. So is that create Shibadoge NFTs, or can you breed?
Exactly. Yeah.
Doge or chip and chip?
Yeah, so you'd have to breed one of each collection, right? So it'd be one Doge and one Sheep would create a pair that you can get turned into a Shibadoge. Now, the interesting thing on why the Shibadoge collection is going to be very, very important moving forward is we actually introduced a brand new technology with this iteration of NFTs, which we like to call EFT or dynamic NFT. EFT being equipable non-fungible token, right? So like an ENFT. And what this enables is it enables users and consumers to be able to interact with their NFTs like they've never been able to before. Right now, if you go to any NFT project and you mint an NFT, you just get one static image, one static JPEG that never changes, right? It always looks the same. You don't have any control on the way that it looks. You can't express yourself with it. You just get what you get. Some people might love what they get. Some people might just be stuck with what they get. They just want to be a part of the project. So they're cool with like having an NFT that they're not in love with. But with the EFTs, you're able to actually fully customize the way that your NFT looks on chain, not just on chain, but also off chain. And each of the accessories that you can equip and unequip to those NFTs, they're NFTs in themselves too. So when you make a EFT, and you mint a Shibadoge, for example, you're getting one NFT, right? You're getting the Shibadoge NFT with all of its traits. You can unequip all of those traits and sell those on the open market, each trait one by one, singularly. So we've created a whole new marketplace with this, where people can actually kind of like go shopping for their NFT, just to like dress it up, express themselves with it. In the future, there will be different types of utilities and superpowers that are included with the items that you'll be able to equip. And we're introducing something new called the Armory for our project. And what this Armory will enable is it'll enable users who are holders to come back every day or every week or whatever, every other day, depending on what type of cycle is going on, where they'll be able to join this Armory. And it's kind of like a video game, where the inventory of stuff changes every week or every day, and you'll be able to claim free equipables for your NFT depending on what rank NFT you own. You'll be entitled to different ranked items, and those items will have some type of tangible value, or maybe they won't, depending on if people like them or not. Some will be more rare than others depending on how many people claim those. And yeah, I mean, it just creates a huge opportunity for us to kind of innovate in the space of NFTs. We've tested it out first on our project. We made sure that everything works and everything is as amazing as we hoped it would have been. And the next step in doing this is to actually kind of approach the broader NFT market and show them this technology, white label it, get everybody else on board, kind of be able to create more marketing avenues and partnerships and different types of connections with a lot of different brands and other NFT projects out there in the space.
Okay, and so for the equiptables for the NFTs, does this just change like the look? Does it change the performance? Can it impact like your staking APY and things like this, or is it more or less just like a cosmetic for the equiptables?
So yeah, for sure. Right now, it is going to just be cosmetic, but moving forward, there are different utilities and there are different features that we're going to be adding to certain equipables. It won't be changing any API or anything like that, but it does change your metadata. So on OpenSea, it'll be updated to show the metadata of whichever you have equipped. Now, when you want to sell your NFT, you can choose to sell your NFT with everything you have equipped on it, or you can just unequip everything and sell everything one by one singularly, depending on how you want to do it. But yeah, I mean, right now it's just a cosmetic thing. But we have a lot of big plans for it moving forward. The contract and the code that was built to make this thing is kind of next level. We'd like to think it's an upgradable smart contract, so we can continuously update, run over the air updates and make it better, just like how a Tesla gets better, just like how an iPhone gets updates and gets better, just like how your computer runs updates and gets better. Our contract is actually fit to be upgraded for however long we support it, right? So that's a pretty nice task and feat in its own. where we're really proud of our developers that we're able to kind of make a technology of that sort. So we'll never be obsolete. We'll always continuously be up to date with what's the current trend in Web3.
All right, interesting. And so I want to ask a question about the war zone. As far as the war zone is concerned, is this like a player by player, or are you actually risking your NFT by putting it into the war zone, or is it more or less kind of similar to like staking, but just kind of gamified?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a more of a gamified version of you can call it. We don't like to use the word staking just for like legal purposes and stuff. But yeah, you don't have. It's not skill based at all whatsoever, right? You don't have to play. You put it in there and forget about it. Come back at the end of the season. You can claim everything out of there if you want, or you can leave them in there for however long you want. We don't set time limits on our Warzone contracts. We do that just because we know some people forget, and we don't want to have anyone risk losing their NFTs or anything like that. So yeah, it's more or less, you're never locked in either. You can always pull your NFTs in and out whenever you want. There's never a time period where you have to be locked in or anything like that.
Okay, cool. And so the Armory, if I understood that right, the Armory is a way for NFT holders to kind of show up every day and go in, and they can actually get free equiptables to add to their metadata and different things that they'll be able to trade on their own. So like, let's say they show up to the Armory, they can claim something, and then if they want to go and trade that in the open market and sell that, they would be able to go and trade that specific equiptable and trade and sell that right on the open market. Did I understand that right?
Yep, exactly.
Super
whether
cool.
they want to sell it, whether they want to collect it. And because another good thing to keep in mind is in the Armory, we've kind of went with like an approach that like some of these really high-end clothing streetwear companies do, like Supreme and stuff. Whatever they release, they never re-release it again, and we kind of like that concept. So that's the concept we went with in the Armory. Like 99% of the items that get released on any given time, they're never going to be re-released or brought into circulation again. So it's like, if you're there that day to claim that, cool. If not, you miss it, then sorry, the only way to get it is to buy it off somebody else on the open market.
Interesting. And as far as the seasons go, the season, does it impact like the playability of the Warzone or anything like that? Or is it just kind of you guys sectioning it off into every 4 months, whatever the case may be, you're just replenishing the pool there? And how do the seasons actually, what are like the logistics behind the seasons?
So yeah, the seasons normally like season 1 and season 2 lasted about I want to say 3 months, or probably a little over 3 months. And then we have like another a break in between, right? Whether it's 2 to 3 months, and then we resume again. So season 3 is about to start in a couple of weeks now. It was supposed to have been live by now. We would have essentially wanted to have it live by mid-March, but we just had such a crazy schedule with the product releases and everything that we're doing that we kind of procrastinated the release just a little bit. But we're a couple of weeks away at this point. So once it's live, people are going to be happy about that. But yeah, it is essentially us just replenishing pools, making sure everything works right. The rewards are not always the same either. Sometimes the rewards will change. So last season, the first season, you were only able to get Shibadoge tokens. The second season, you were able to get Shibadoge and burn tokens. If you this season, if you have a pair, you'll be able to get burn tokens and Shibadoge tokens. If you don't have a pair, you'll just receive Shibadoge tokens. But this season, we're also going for a longer season as well. So this season is going to be a bit longer than first and second season were.
Okay, and can we talk about the burn token a little bit and kind of describe for the people that don't know the purpose of that? Can you just elaborate on why the burn token came to fruition and what the purpose of the burn token is?
Yeah, for sure, man. So I'd love to touch on the burn token. The burn token, actually, you can find it on deflationary.com. We own that domain. That is a very strong domain for the project moving forward. The burn token was originally launched in order to help other projects kind of deflate their supply over time. But very quickly, once the bear market kind of showed its face, we saw how a lot of these bad actors and people in the space kind of like, got up and just bounced and just abandoned their communities. So we very quickly realized like, hey, the burn token was started to help other projects kind of be deflationary, but how can we trust other projects when they're just up and leaving when things don't go their way? So in order to protect the IP of the burn token, what we did is we hit the drawing board and we're like, you know what, we have to restructure everything that we originally based the token off of. We still want to keep the core functions of it being the most hyper deflationary token on the market. We want to make sure it still stands for deflationary, and we want to make sure that it's still something that can relate to the name of Burn, right? So we still haven't fully announced the new roadmap and the new future of what the Burn token is going to entail, but I can assure you that that's like one of our biggest projects of the year is kind of restructuring and finalizing the path on which how we expect the Burn token to grow as a project. I don't know exactly how many holders are on the Burn token right now. I can check, but we are growing pretty quickly as far as the Burn token goes. The liquidity to market cap ratio is extremely healthy. I believe it's like $1 million in liquidity to $4 million in market cap, which is extremely good. I mean, I don't really see any other projects out there that can really compete with that. And we're sitting at less than 2,000 holders right now, 1,900 holders just on the Burn token alone. So the room for growth and the room for explosion on the Burn token, I feel like it's very healthy, and I feel like there is a lot of room to grow. It's just more or less what people are waiting for is kind of us to lay out the foundation of how we're going to scale this thing moving forward. And I think it's going to be one of our funner tasks of the year. I could say that.
Okay, sounds good. That's exciting. And so obviously you guys are coming back around and doing another marketing push. You guys had a colossal start. I mean, your timing was impeccable on all this, and the project has achieved incredible things historically. So if you guys are coming back around and you're doing the second marketing push and you're out here doing AMAs, I would imagine you have a ton more lined up. And now, I mean, you have so many different ways for people to buy it this time around on all the different exchanges. What's kind of the purpose of the secondary marketing push? What are you guys hoping to accomplish with it? And where do you see the future of the project going?
So the main focus on why we're even doing this marketing push is this. Firstly, there's two reasons. Firstly, it's to kind of like show everybody like, hey, we're not here to play games. We're here to actually build. And we think that this new tech that we're bringing to the table with the NFTs and the equipables is actually pretty game changing. Whether people decide to see it now or not, they will come to recognize how important it is in the future. Secondly, one of the main reasons why we're doing this marketing push is to kind of just remind people like, yo, we are still here. We are one of those teams that don't give up, whether the markets are doing good or bad. I want to tell you, Brian, like 90, if not 99% of the projects that were launched alongside us, like during the same time that we launched, they're not here today. They weren't able to weather the storm. Shibadoge, obviously, yeah, we're not sitting at all-time highs, but we've grown immensely through the bear market, probably grown more in numbers than we did in the bull market, and probably grew more than any other project in our category. We're close to 100K followers on our Twitter page, and that's a pretty nice feat for us to achieve. Hopefully we can do it by the next month or so. But 30K holders on chain. We've been growing probably on average 25 to 30 new holders every single day, consistently, without missing a beat. There's never been a day where we ended the day on a negative holder count. We've always been positive every single day, no matter how bad the markets were. And I think a lot of that has to do with the transparency that we show as a team, the work ethic that we show as a team, and honestly, just communication alone. There's no other project in the space where you could go and talk to the core team 2 times a week, every single week. We host AMAs in our Telegram channel or in our Discord every single Monday and every single Thursday. And we've done that without missing a beat ever since the day that we launched. So I think the transparency is key. There's a lot of bad actors in the space that kind of tarnish the reputation of the space. So we're very much against taking that route, and we like to call bad actors out, even because we truly believe that this space has a lot of room to grow. But in order for that to happen, there needs to be some people who are, you know, taking the charge on holding others accountable for, you know, making the space safer for newbies to actually join and take that leap into you know, venturing into Web3.
Yeah, brilliant. And as far as you guys are almost at 100K on Twitter, that's awesome. Have you guys seen any recognition from, let's say, the Doge team or the Shib team, or any big like events that have happened, like any industry leaders that have given you guys the recognition because you've been able to kind of stay relevant and stay alive through the gnarliest storm yet in crypto? Has anyone paid you guys that attention that you deserve?
Yeah, we do get a lot of attention, man. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the attention that does come to us comes to us privately, where people that we know on a personal basis who are actually, you know, behind some of the bigger projects in the space, or even just, you know, top 10, top 20 wallets in Shiba and Dogecoin. They reach out to us and they're like, "Holy shit! Like, you guys are absolutely crushing it." As far as like publicity goes, and like, you know, other dev teams from like Doge or Shiba reaching out, no, they haven't. And there's a business related reason as to why they don't, and we completely understand that. You know, especially with celebrities nowadays, like you could see all the YouTubers and stuff who are promoting FTX are pretty much getting sued in the class action lawsuit right now. So, you know, any legal team for anybody who's anybody out there is telling everyone like, yo, don't get involved in shilling any type of crypto or anything like that. And I don't blame them for it, man. You know, like a lot of these bad actors really ruin a lot of opportunities for people. And yeah, I mean, we just got to keep pushing forward. But I do prefer it this way because you know, a lot of people were just promoting just shit projects for no reason other than just, you know, getting paid to do it, which is, you know, it's business. I get it. But at the end of the day, the people who invest in those projects and end up getting rugged or end up getting scammed is, you know, it's no good, man. And I rather have celebrities not talk about crypto, or it's better than them not talking about it than talking about it and having, you know, people lose money left and right because they don't even know what they're talking about. So.
Yeah, I mean, peak shit is like Dylan Dennis with the CoffeeZilla thing. I don't know if you saw that, but Dylan Dennis
yes.
putting a NFT, even the agreement they signed was like, we're going to make a fool out of you. And he just signs it and promotes it, you know, for like $1,000 bucks. Desperacy breeds a beast, I suppose. But yeah, I'm in agreement. It's good to see. I think like we talk about this all the time in here about how we kind of see a shift in the market from people that just have an idea that want to just raise money to make their idea come true. That is out. That was in, but that's out. And moving forward into the future, it's the innovators and the people that want to come up with stuff that is unique and things that I mean, people have never seen before. We've seen dynamic NFTs, but I don't know if I've seen equipable NFTs, at least built through an ecosystem where you can go and claim equiptables and it goes directly into your metadata. So it's really cool that you guys are doing this. And did I understand right? Did you say earlier that after you guys perfect it in your own ecosystem, you're hoping to deploy it to the greater, broader ecosystem for other projects?
Yeah, man. That's where the big play is at. That's where the big brain play is at. And we do feel that the tech is good enough to be adopted by the masses. And I think, you know, once we're able to perfect it on our end, which is pretty close to that, we'll be more than ready to, you know, build out some decks and approach a lot of brands and different NFT projects and kind of like have them hop on board.
And how does that work? I mean, like, do you guys have any logistics about how that will support and benefit the project and the people that hold the project?
For our project or like the other projects that we'd be approaching?
Yeah, for like other projects, right? So I would imagine that they'd have to come off some crypto in order to get you guys to implement that into their ecosystem. And if they were to, how would that benefit the holders, the people that not only hold your NFTs, but your tokens also? Is any of that
right?
worked out?
So, I mean, there's those are still a lot of like back end stuff that still need to be worked out. What has been being worked out right now is like the tech and like kind of like proving that this is even possible to begin with. Um, Obviously, once that's in order, then we'd have to come up with the finalized business plan on how we're gonna like scale um, to other people. But that's a discussion that we still haven't like committed to just yet, as far as like how it would benefit them or us. I can come up like I can give you some reasons off the top of my head, like how it would benefit other projects. How it would benefit other projects would be like, hey, it would give their holders something new and something fresh that they don't have before. A lot of people that are invested in certain projects, they absolutely love the art, right? They love the art, but imagine giving those people an opportunity to be able to customize it the way that they do, that they like, and the way that they can express themselves, and that creates a new opportunity for a lot of projects out there to be able to keep their holders entertained and keep their holders busy, and kind of like bring in a whole gamification factor to NFTs. And it creates a utility factor for that NFT as well, which is what a lot of projects look for. Because if you don't have some type of utility factor, whether it be big or small, you're going to be, you're going to be classified as a security. And, a lot of projects don't want to be classified as securities. So they're looking for ways that they can utilize their tokens and become a utility. And I think we can give them a very fun and interactive way to do that. And the way that it would benefit our holders, there's a plethora of different options, but maybe we can have, like liquidity pools set up, or we can have a royalties set up. I don't know exactly yet. We haven't talked about it just yet, and we haven't really, dialed in the final details, but there are a lot of options out there to explore.
Hey, can I ask a quick question real quick?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
pull your mic a little bit closer to your face, Pedro.
Oh, sorry about that. Hey, Leo, it's me, Pedro. Hey, so I'm really huge. Like, I really like it. Have you guys thought about even pitching this to, let's say, municipalities or even like the country of Australia? Like, they're really starting to adopt blockchain and everything like that. And the fact is, like, I know that California has gone through and now put a lot of their stuff on the blockchain within California, and they're actually distributing like state documents back and forth. And the fact that I think one of the biggest issues that they have is being able to change something or really put a good stamp on it. Have you thought about maybe even selling part of it or assisting like municipalities or even like countries to really kind of make that a big deal and put your name out there? Is that something you guys have thought about?
Well, okay, so we haven't like fully thought about it. And the reason being is because for us to penetrate those markets and like governments and whatnot is a completely different monster in its own. I feel like if we can make a buzz in the space by penetrating similar projects or clothing brands or just media brands or whatever first, and kind of build a reputation and build a resume for ourselves, then it will be much easier to approach governments and bigger entities like that to kind of have them implement the tech. So that's going to be our main point of focus, is kind of building that resume and kind of penetrating the broader market of what we're used to. But yeah, definitely, man, if we can figure out a way to get this into different cities and countries and stuff, then obviously we wouldn't hesitate.
All right.
Does that answer your question, Pedro?
Yeah, absolutely. You did a good job. I was just wondering because, man, with that exchangeable, somebody could sit there and let's say I get a car, I buy a new car, I need to give it to somebody else. I can go to DMV. If I can simply because right now in America, like you can't just go into a DMV anymore. You got to like go in, you got to plan it. It'd be nice to actually be able to just simply say, look, using your technology, develop to verify myself through the blockchain. And then in additionally to that, allow them, especially in say Australia or in California, other places that are also using, there are small cities right now that are using, ways to be able to verify government paperwork. This is perfect for it. So that's why I was, and you did. Thank you. Like you said, I think you're right.
For sure,
Very
man. Yeah. Thank you, Pedro. Appreciate the question, man.
Good
much,
stuff.
brother.
So I see they keep sharing something in the group, something about a big giveaway. Can you? It says maybe $100,000 in tokens to
Oh,
mint.
yeah, of course.
Can you understand the logistics there?
Yeah, for sure, man. So we did this with the Doge Army where we gave away a Model S Plaid to whoever minted the Elon NFT. And that was in the Doge Army. In the Shiba Army, we have a Vitalik 1/1 NFT, and whoever mints that gets $100,000 in Shibadoge tokens. So that's pretty much the reward for minting that. And the collection is pretty much almost all minted out. I think there's less than 2,000 NFTs left to mint. So 80% of them have been minted out, and the Vitalik has still not shown up. So it's in that last 20%. And I mean, whoever gets that is pretty much, depending on who you are, it's life-changing amount of tokens for a lot of people out there.
That's huge. I'm seeing some of this stuff in here. Absolutely hilarious. They're sharing like anybody that's got good memes for Shibadoge, share the good memes. We want to see the good memes in the group. Let's load up the group with the good memes. I'm seeing is this a community member that wrapped their looks like a Rubicon?
Yeah.
They're cheap and
yeah. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's one of our community members. It's the Shibadoge Jeep.
Did you guys pay for it, or did he pay out of pocket to get his Jeep
No,
wrapped?
we actually paid for it. He made a proposal. He made a proposal on our website, and he was like, "Yo, if the Shibadoge team pays for this, I'll get it done." And we were like, "All right, let's do it."
Hilarious. So how does that work with
yeah.
the proposal? So you guys have like a DAO almost, where people can vote on how the team allocates things. Is that what you mean by that?
We have a little proposal thing on snapshot.org where people can, holders can go there and vote, and certain proposals pass, certain ones don't. It was pretty popular when it first came out. A lot of people were using it, and then eventually it just kind of dwindled down to not too many users. But we do want to revive that, man, because it was really fun, and there was a lot of great proposals that would come up there. But I was just having another AMA with somebody a couple days ago, and we were talking about the DAO and how it's so important, but like nobody really uses it, and that's one of the struggles that a lot of projects that implement it have. So if we could come up with a cool, fun way to probably even implement the DAO into the war zone or into our Armory, where people can use it much more frequently because it's like right there in your face, then I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's really cool. They're sharing some. Is the comic book real? They're talking about
the comic book is real. The comic book is real. The comic book is something we've been working on for like 6 months. Every page on the comic book has been hand drawn, stenciled by an amazing artist. The storyline, we've been working with some of the bigger studios to come up with an amazing storyline. We're going the media route with our project. We're going to try to create an amazing story for the project, amazing lore. We want people to have a strong connection with the project through the storyline that we provide. We believe storylines are very important in the success of any kind of product. When I'm saying that, I'm talking like Marvel, I'm talking Pokemon, I'm talking like, these anime series and whatnot. Like people get really, really attached to a good storyline. And I was just in Japan. I visited Japan in January, and I got a lot of inspiration as to, how big just the fan base of a good media company can be. So we're definitely going balls deep on the media route, and we're going to try to create a amazing lore for our project.
Great news. Your community's super strong. Japan's a beautiful place too. It's super inspiring. So I can imagine you go there, you come back, you want to make a comic book. That makes complete sense. What do you mean by you guys are going the media route?
So what I mean by that is we're going to create a storyline, right? So we have the comic book coming out. The comic book is kind of like the first stepping stone in getting the storyline out there and the media out there. We eventually want to have an animated series. We want to have like like a show, something where people can actually get attached to the characters that are in these programs, in the show or the comic books, and A lot of the characters that are going to be showing up in the comic books and the shows itself are going to be real life NFTs that people already are come to love, right? You know, the stuff that already exists in the ecosystem. But what we're doing is we're kind of like creating a storyline behind it now, where people can actually like look at a certain item or a certain equipable and be like, hey, I know this. This was from, you know, that comic book, or it was from this episode of that show, and this is cool. I want to have it. So yeah, I mean, we want to make like a media company out of this is one of the essential, you know, long-term goals.
Yeah, it's awesome, and I'm sure that would all trickle down and benefit everybody that's in the project, right? That would be the goal of it.
Oh,
It's really cool to
100%.
see you guys go full circle here. I mean, and from the last time that we spoke, which was a long time ago. I mean, it was months and months ago last time I spoke to you, Leo. And so to see you guys come full circle, still be here, still developing, coming out with new seasons, coming out with new collections, it's really cool. And I would imagine you guys have a substantial amount of funds built up to really push this thing to the next level. Is that the case?
Yeah, for sure, man. So a lot of the funds that have pretty much, you know, come into development and marketing were a lot of that what the tokenomics would kind of like support through the project. But obviously, like the stuff that we've been building and some of the other ventures that we've been doing, a lot of it has to have come out of pocket from us. Luckily, we are pretty well off as far as, you know, our successes in crypto, so we are able to fund a lot of this stuff, you know, out of pocket and do things that other projects don't have the luxuries to do, which is something that kind of sets us a little bit apart from people, because we do kind of have a little bit more leniency on development, and we do have a little bit more leniency on, you know, having deeper pockets. I don't mean to brag, or I don't want to, like, you know, showboat, or I always like to stay as humble as I possibly can. But when it comes down to it, this project is our baby, and this community is something that we love and appreciate more than anything else that we've got going on. So I mean, we're more than happy to you know, continuously put money where we can find value in building stuff.
Brilliant. Somebody said in the chat, tell him more about the free mints for the public, and tagged you. Is there free mints?
Yes. So on the 30th of this month, we have a collection coming out called it's the EFT collection. It's the first iteration of EFTs that are coming out. They're going to be crates, and those crates are going to reveal into different types of EFTs. So that's going to be live on the 30th for the public sale, and the 29th for the whitelist. And I believe we have like 350 whitelist spots still available to claim on Discord. We've already got like 1,150 of them out of 1,500 filled up. We reached 1,000 whitelist spots like almost instantly, so we had to kind of up that number. So we upped it to 1,500 just yesterday, and we're kind of picking and choosing a little more carefully now, because it did fill up so fast the first time around. But yeah, if you get whitelisted, you're getting the ability to mint on the 29th. If not, you can give yourself a shot on the 30th and try to claim you know, a few mints there. There is 5 max per wallet that you'll be able to mint. If you're on the whitelist, you can mint 2 per wallet, and then you can mint 3 more during the public sale.
That's great news. Okay, so that's going to be on the 30th. Please remind us, and we'll make sure that we get a post in the chat, reminder post up in the chat, and pin that so people remember that, which will lead us into our golden question after, because that's funny. But yeah, so make sure you remind us. And as far as people that want to get whitelisted, you said that's happening in the Discord. So if they come over into your Discord, hang out, get acclimated, then they have a chance of getting whitelisted.
Yeah, exactly. So if you come into the Discord, there's a little tab in there. It says how to whitelist. Just click that tab. There's a bunch of different instructions on how you could participate. You know, that you could choose whichever one fits your fits your needs better, and then go that route. But yeah, I mean, it's just as simple as, you know, coming into the Discord and just following those basic instructions, and bang, that's it.
If I remember right, you guys had 420 sextillion tokens for the supply. Is that right?
Yeah, so that was the initial supply that we launched with. immediately at launch, we manually burned half of that. So we were left with 210 sextillion, which was exactly 50% of the supply. Throughout the past year and a half almost, we've burned 5% of the supply as well, just passively through reflections and through transactions coming in and out. So, I mean, you know, in just about a year, we've burned 5% of the supply, which is huge.
Absolutely huge. That's great. And there's no minting, right? So it's only burning.
Exactly. Yeah. No minting, only burning. Liquidity is locked into the contract forever. Never have the ability to touch that. I believe only like 12% of the locked liquidity is inside of a token locker, and the rest of the 89% or whatever is locked in the contract forever. So it's fully safe. Nobody can ever touch it. And we do want to lock the liquidity for the other 12% of the liquidity for 888 years. Obviously, that's our 888-year vision. So that's what's going to happen next time around.
888 years, essentially in forever. And you guys still
exactly.
You guys still have like $1 million in liquidity, even with ETH going down, right? Just in ETH, not including the tokens.
Oh, and in Shibadoge, I believe we have like close to 4 million in liquidity. Let me double check.
Oh my God, that's incredible, man.
Yeah,
to go through a market
3.6.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's incredible.
$3.6 million in liquidity. Yep.
Wow. So I mean, to go through a crazy bear market and still have 100K in liquidity is impressive. I mean, it's a testament to your community, right? And look at the way your community showed up today. It's like they're nuts. They're crazy. It's amazing. It's great. I mean, it's what's needed though, right? So it's going to be cool to see how you guys continue to develop this. And when's the next season launch on the Warzone?
So there is no official date yet, but it is in the coming like 2.5 weeks, something like that. So after this whole next mint goes live and whatnot, we'll have an official announcement for the next Warzone as well. So it's coming up very shortly.
Okay, and somebody just asked about the way that it's burning. So the burn wallet gets reflections, and that is the burn, right? So it's from the tax, it's getting tokens sent into the burn wallet.
Yeah, exactly. So there is no like true burn function built in. The way that it burns is we have reflection set up, so 5% reflections to holders, right? And that's on every transaction, every buy and every sell. The burn wallet, the dead wallet is considered a holder, so it gets reflections as well. So throughout the lifespan of the project, every transaction that came in and out was sending reflections to that burn wallet.
Okay, sounds good. All right, we've covered a lot. So to recap for the people that joined late, we covered the NFTs. You guys have the Doge Army and the Shiba Army NFT collections, and now those are going to come together, and people will be able to breed those to make the Shibadoge Army NFTs, right? You guys also have the EFTs, or the equipable NFTs, which are essentially like skins and upgrades for the metadata of people's existing NFTs, right? And so these are like wearables and stuff that they can get, and they can get these through the Armory, which is something that's coming out, which they'll be able to go and claim those. One thing is there's a free mint coming up on the 30th to get whitelisted on the 29th to be part of the whitelisted version of that free mint, and essentially guarantee yourself an NFT. They can head over into your Discord, get involved over in your Discord for a chance to be whitelisted. That's going to happen on the 29th. Then on the 30th, you guys are going to open that up to the public, most likely mint the rest of those out. And then from there, the new season should open up for the Warzone. Is that a decent recap?
Yeah, perfect, man. I couldn't have said it better.
All right, cool. The community is super active, man. I mean, it really is, especially in this market. It's super impressive to see a community really show up the way that your community is showing up right now, and the way that they've always been like this. So it's really cool. It's nice to see the memes and just everything flowing into the chat. It's a breath of fresh air. So yeah, everything's solid. Everything looks really good. The Dogeum extraction deployment has ended. What was that? I've been staring at this on my screen, meaning to ask. What in the world was the Dogeum
Yeah, for
extraction?
sure. So each season of the Warzone is based off something else, and season 2 was based off of the Dogeum extraction, which a lot of that is going to be a big play into the media stuff that I was talking about. So our consumers will learn more about what Dogeum extracting really is about when the storyline goes live. They'll be able to read more about it. Anybody who participated in the entirety of season 2 got a Dogeum extractor NFT, which they can equip to their Shibadoge. So that is a EFT in its own too. The only way to have ever gotten that was to participate in season 2. So it's kind of like an exclusive collectible item where obviously it won't ever come back into circulation again. So it's just a cool little reward for participating into that season.
All right, cool. All right, good stuff. And so you're not going to raise any more money. Is there going to be any other tokens similar to like how you guys added Burn into your ecosystem? Is there any plans to bring another token to market like that, another launch?
So there isn't immediate plans for it, but we do know that the Shibadoge ecosystem is continuously going to grow, and we do have a lot of ideas on how we want to implement that growth and kind of kickstart the growth. And we do expect more tokens in the future, and we do expect more growth as far as the ecosystem adding new things that are going to be supporting one another and kind of creating that spider web of support and the backbone that Shibadoge needs. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely expect new launches in the future, but we don't really have anything planned immediately right now. We were more or less about to actually try to add a token that we were trying to acquire to the ecosystem. We were actually trying to acquire the Shinja project. So yeah, that was one thing that we kind of stepped up and had a few talks about with their community and whatnot. But it's kind of still up in the air whether we want to do that or not.
Really interesting there. That's because they have a really strong community also. Interesting. All right, and so would it be fair to say that the people that are actively holding Shibadoge or the Shibadoge NFTs, let's say they have a track record of holding it, would they kind of be given a little bit of priority, first come first serve type deal if you guys were to ever come out with a new collection or a new project?
We very strongly believe in fair launches, and we don't believe anybody should get a advantage over anybody else when it comes to new launches or token launches or anything like that. So we're going to stay true to our word on fair launches, and that's probably the approach that we'll take for all of the launches we do moving forward.
All right, amazing. Leo, we've got a question we ask every project that comes through here. It's called the golden question. You may know it, you may not. If you don't, I'll say it anyway.
Yep.
As you may know, people in DeFi, Leo, they suffer from shiny new object syndrome. They like to hop from one thing to the next. There are thousands of projects out here trying to raise money to go live on a chart, hundreds of projects that launch every day, and millions of tokens for the people listening to this call to go and stuff their crypto into. My question to you, Leo, is this. Why should people listening to this AMA take you up on the opportunity you've presented above the other opportunities they have in DeFi?
Yeah, definitely, man. So I think looking from an outside point of view into our project, what you'll be able to recognize immediately off the bat is you'll be able to recognize that there is strong leadership, which is something that a DeFi project, the crypto project, really needs in order to thrive. It needs a strong community, which is what we've got. We have one of the best, if not the absolute best community in all of DeFi. We have a dedicated track record. We're a year and a half old now, almost. Continuously pushing forward, making new things in the space for the people that we love and the communities that we love. We've always been fully transparent, so there hasn't ever been any questions that we haven't been able to answer. We've always been able to answer every question, no matter how hard or how easy it was. Everything that we do as a team and that we do as a project, we do it for the communities itself. Us as core developers and us as core team members, we've seen success in crypto, and we believe that everybody can see success in crypto as long as they're consistent. Consistency is definitely 100% the key in almost every aspect in life. And I believe, here at Shibadoge, we are extremely consistent in pushing the same narrative forward that, positivity will prevail, that, together we unite, we will prevail. And it's just an extremely positive place to be as a consumer. The space could be very toxic, and like you said, people are jumping from one thing to another. They see one green candle, and they think it's FOMO Central or FOMO land, and they're in and out of 100 different things by the time they know it, and then they get wrecked. What we like to do here at Shibadoge is we like to educate people on blockchain. We like to educate people on everything DeFi. We like to educate people on even just like basic life lessons, whether they learn something or not. It's a beautiful place to be. It's a beautiful place to grow. It's a beautiful place to learn. And I think there's a lot of testimonials that everyone in our community can give to kind of, convince people on the outside on why they should be involved. We don't even ask people to be holders to be involved in our community. We just want people that are like-minded and positive to be on the same page. And we have room for you in our community, no matter how big of a bag or how small of a bag you have.
Absolutely brilliant. If you want to take this opportunity, Leo, to give a call to action or address anything that we haven't addressed that you think we should address before we conclude the AMA. But if you have a call to action, if not, then if you want to just move right into the call to action.
Yeah, man. My call to action would be, it's like, it's as simple as, if you miss Doge, that sucks. If you miss Shibadoge, if you miss Shiba, that also sucks. If you miss Shibadoge, then unfortunately you suck. So that's my call to action, baby. That's the call to action. That's how I sign off on every AMA. But I really don't have much else. If anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy. But yeah, man, this was great, and you were an amazing host.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Leo. It's absolutely hilarious, man. So it's been great having you guys in, and from the Coin Launch Lounge, we wish you nothing but the best of success with the project moving forward, and hopeful to see all the cool stuff that you guys come out with. And please do remind us, coming up on the 29th and the 30th, please remind us, for the people that are whitelisted on that, I'll post an announcement, and then on the 30th, just remind me and I'll get an announcement up for you guys, okay?
My guy, thank you, brother. We appreciate it very much.
Oh, of course. Appreciate you guys for coming in. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Peace.
Let's go. She want the info. She do.